This is the Aquilla20 HD, the latest contender for the best budget HD FPV kit for beginners. And so today I'm going to test it out and tell you everything you need to know about it. Just first impressions of this kit, taking it out of the box, I really like it. It has a very solid remote, feels good in your hand. It's about the same size and weight as the DJI FPV remote, and it feels super solid, unlike the one with the Caddx Protos that felt super plasticky. And the goggles feel quite good as well. They are much more comfortable, have rubber all the way around. That keeps them from hurting your nose if you have a big nose like me. And the drone itself is also a lot bigger than the Protos. It's about the same size as the DJI Neo. It feels very, very light, probably in part because the entire thing seems to be made out of plastic, but seems like it's sturdy plastic, and that is great if they can make the drone lighter. The kit includes 2 smart battery packs, which are 2S high voltage lithium batteries. And this drone and the goggles have the new ArtLink digital FPV system inside of them, which I'm pretty excited to test out. The entire kit comes in at $359, which is about $100 more than the analog version, but this digital system is going to give you a way, way better experience flying the drone. Anyway, you probably came here to see this thing fly, not for me to talk about a whole bunch of specs, so let's get in there. All right, so we got everything powered on here. This drone has 3 modes: normal mode, where it actually has position hold sensors, and then sport, which is basically angle mode, and manual mode. Now, we'll get to those other modes closer to the end, but this drone is for FPV, so let's start with manual FPV mode. All right, so we're going to arm the drone. We're recording in our goggles here, and off we go. Honestly, this feels very nice. The rates are just the way I would expect them. No too much expo funny business like on the Protos. There we go. Uh-oh, we ran into the tree. Okay. Guess I'm not quite ready to go big time with this system yet. So far, I'm really liking this digital system. I think it looks a lot better than the Protos. I don't know if it's quite DJI quality, but it's honestly pretty close, at least for relatively close in flying here. Let's see if we can slow up here and go right between here. That looks very nice. Let's see if we can get a flip in here. Yeah, we got a decent bit of power. Looking good. Let's see if we can take it out here. It is drifting around a little bit more than I would expect, but there's some wind, so that may not be helping. Honestly, all in all, it's flying quite well. Now, obviously, this thing doesn't have a ton of power because it is relatively small, but let's see what we can do here. Let's push it a little bit further. I don't have my camera angle tilted up super high, but all in all, it's feeling quite good. Honestly, it's quite locked in for a little beginner drone this size. Let's try to go up here and dive a tree. Whoa! Oh, we're still flying there, okay. I guess we didn't have quite enough power to punch out that close to the ground. Let's try another tree. By the way, if you want to learn how to get cinematic professional shots with whatever drone you have, I've put together a completely free 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to getting cinematic shots with your drone, covering everything from the best settings to use, how to get smooth dynamic movements, how to edit your videos, how to color grade them, and a whole bunch more. Again, completely free, no strings attached, and link to that is down in the description. Now back to testing out the Aquilla20. Uh-oh, and so yeah, we definitely do have some problems with flipping when we're punching out of dives. Of course, probably part of that is because I hit the limbs right here. Okay, let's go further from anything. Yep, there's definitely some flip over into the back. That seems to be the case, even with like the Neo has a similar issue of some instability when you're doing super aggressive maneuvers. So Yeah, that's not ideal, but it does seem to come with the territory of these smaller drones. You're definitely going to want to be doing more cruising rather than aggressive freestyle with it. Although, it is not the worst I've seen for sure. All right, let's see if we can get it through this gap. Nice. Still getting used to these rates. Yeah, looks like it's flying pretty well. Uh-oh, almost hit the fence. Hitting low voltage. Unfortunately, here in the OSD, it is showing me voltage for the whole pack and not voltage per cell, which is not what I'm used to, because well, at least I'm not used to these voltages with a 2S, because I'm usually flying 4S or 6S. But all in all, I've got to say, I'm not entirely unhappy with how it flies. It definitely struggles when you push it too hard. Let's just try going faster here. Yeah, not bad at all. Let's see if we can fly right through here. Very nice. It's definitely very precise. You can have a fun time just flying it through all kinds of places. As long as you aren't trying to do acro, crazy. Woo-hoo. I mean, it has also a good ability to keep flying when you run into stuff. I will give it that. Looks like our battery is getting a bit low here. Let's see if we can do a bit of a range and penetration test. Compare it to how the Protos did with their Ascend system. This ArtLink system is really impressing me on this BetaFPV. We'll go down the road here until it starts to break up. Okay, there we go. This is much further than the Protos got, and here we're just sort of starting to get some graininess, whereas the Protos had totally broken up long before it got this far. This is really impressive. This is about as far as I can get the DJI. Okay, we better turn it around because we're really dropping frames and it is showing red. I can go a little bit further than with DJI, definitely, than this, but this is way better than the Protos, which I'm surprised that it's doing this much better. Of course, I will say there's more leaves off the trees now than when I did it with the Protos. Oh, maybe not that many. I think the leaves were already off the trees, but still, I'm very impressed. Almost clipped a wire there. It looks like showing yellow, so I don't want to take it out too far. Oh, here we go, low voltage. I think we should probably bring this pack in and grab our second battery pack, bring it in, and disarm. All in all, first flight, I'm pretty impressed, I've got to say. For 350 bucks for this entire kit, it's not bad. And we got 6 minutes and 46 seconds out of that first battery, and I wasn't particularly shying away from more aggressive maneuvers. So I would say pretty decent flight time for this size and class of a drone. They obviously stuck a pretty good chunky battery on here, which is part of why it struggles to pull out of dives and some of those more aggressive freestyle stuff. But it also means that you can go cruising around and having fun for longer. And by the way, BetaFPV did send me this kit, but they're not sponsoring this video. No money changed hands. They're not telling me what to say, and they don't even get to see the video before I post it. So this is just my honest thoughts on this beginner FPV kit. All right, second battery in. Let's try out some of the position hold features. So if we switch our mode switch from manual over to normal mode, we can go ahead and arm it and take off. And it should just be able to look at the ground and hold its position real nicely. I'm going to bring the drone over here into the camera view. And there you go. As you can see, it's just hovering right here. Let's move it over a little bit closer. It is definitely getting blown around by the wind a little bit and not quite hovering in one spot, but it's a lot better than it would be doing in angle mode without any kind of vision sensors. Obviously not DJI level, but then it is a lot cheaper. So fly it around here a little bit in normal mode. Again, it's using these little sensors on the bottom to keep it relatively stable and not drifting over too much of an area. Let's just let it go here and see how stable it will be. It is pretty stable. Oh, it's going backwards. Hold on, what is that all about? Now we do have some wind here. It seems like the wind is still pushing it. Yep, the wind is pushing it. Oh, but there, it does stabilize after a little bit and comes back into its spot. I'm not touching the controls right now, just keeping it level. And as you can see, it's bouncing back and forth in the wind a little bit, but it is staying relatively stable. If I were to switch it over into sport mode, which I can't do without landing, it would just be flying all over the place. So this definitely provides some assistance to help you keep it nice and stable, but don't expect it to be DJI level of stability. And then gotta land it to switch it over into sport mode, which on most drones is what you would call angle mode. And if we take off here, it flies just about like angle mode on any other drone. There is no position holding, but you're not in full acro. The drone automatically levels itself out. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of angle mode, but it is a way that you can start flying that is a little bit easier than acro if for some reason you don't want to jump all the way into acro at first. And we are going to go ahead and, oh, where'd it go? We're going to switch back over to full-blown manual mode. We are going to arm the drone and take off and go cruising. I want to push it on a little bit less of a penetration test, more of a distance test. And okay, wow, we're already getting low voltage there. I'm pushing it pretty hard to go fast here. As you can see, if we level out, it does better, but it definitely has a limit as to how fast it's going to go. Looks like we are starting to get a little bit of graininess in our feed. It's definitely further than the Protos ever went. And yeah, we're doing reasonably well. Okay, I'm concerned. Yep, there we go. We are starting to get red bars. This is way further than the Protos got. I think the Protos got right about to here and totally blanked out. And it's just amazing that I was able to throttle up and bring it back without totally crashing. So this is a much, much better FPV system, it seems, than the Caddx Protos. We're definitely having some instability with it bobbing around here, which is not great. I'm not entirely sure what is causing that. Let's see if we can do some nice low-level cruising here. Right around the circuit. And we're starting to get down a little bit low on our voltage. But all in all, definitely a fun little drone to fly. Whoa. There we are. Okay, voltage is low. Time to bring it in. So after testing out the Aquilla20, what are my thoughts? Honestly, I really like this drone. It is way, way, way better than the Caddx Protos. The FPV transmission system is better. The overall user experience is better. The Protos, after I reviewed it, I flew it a couple more times and then it's just sat on a shelf. But I can actually see myself probably flying this one a fair bit just for fun, just because it is a cheap little drone and I can just rip around and have fun with it. And the user experience is actually good. The remote feels good in my hands. It doesn't have weird rates and expo settings. The goggles are actually comfortable. And as a DJI guy who mostly flies DJI drones, DJI FPV stuff, I like the fact that everything turns on with a short press and long press from the goggles to the remote to the drone. That way I'm not constantly confused about how I should turn this drone on like I was with the Protos. All in all, I think this kit is a great value if you want to try out FPV without spending a whole lot at only $359. It's about the same price as the Protos, but way, way better. And I'm hoping they actually come out with a dedicated ArtLink VTX that you can throw on other drones, because I can see myself using this system on cheap little quads that I just want to burn around with and have fun. Don't have to have a fantastic camera on them. And as decent as the system already is, I think if they keep improving it, it could actually become eventually a decent competitor to DJI's FPV transmission system. Obviously, there's still quite a ways to go, but I'm really impressed. Now, the issue that you did see is that it's not super powerful and has some instabilities, but that does seem to come with these cheap beginner starter level FPV drones. So all in all, I think I give it about an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. And if you're looking for an affordable budget FPV kit that will let you jump into FPV under, say, $500, this is currently the one that I would get. Again, thanks to BetaFPV for sending me this kit. Link to it is down in the description. You can click right here if you want to watch another video. Make sure to subscribe to not miss any future videos just like this.